to the Without Distraction Relationship Broadcast. I am your host, Dr. Ingrid Durr. Today we're going to be talking about what it takes to have a good marriage. Marriage is important. It's important not only just for the husband and the wife, but it's important for the family to have a healthy relationship. Some of the things that we're going to talk about is going to deal with the functions that build solid relationship. One of the things is friendship. Friendship is so important. You know how it is when we first start off in a relationship. You're going going to different places. You're enjoying yourself. You're having a great time. You're cordial. You're just developing a friendship. And then later on, when the person gets married, sometimes it just stops. It just ceases. All the good time, all the fun time just goes right out the window. And then everybody's back to business as usual. But marriage is so important to look at the different factors, that the same thing it took to get the marriage and to come to an agreement on the marriage and want to even build a foundation is the same thing it's going to take to maintain a healthy relationship. Friendship is so important. When you begin to develop your friendship, you have all your guards down. You're just open, you're transparent, you talk about things, everything just flows smoothly. You don't feel threatened about what you say or how you say it or when you say it. If you said things the wrong way, you're just being yourself. You just open up, you're just talking about different things that you desire to talk about. You're being yourself. You tell about the good things you like, you tell about the bad things you like. The things that you don't like. So that's how it is when in friendship, everything is just all down on the table. But what happens when we begin to enter into a marriage relationship, what happens is that we begin to drop the friendship part, and then we go on to all serious business. And sometimes if we're not careful, that will cause a relationship to lose the flavor that it deserves. And the moment that you know, as we lose the flavor, one of the things that they say, people say after being married for so many years, well, my marriage just fell apart, or it just went downhill, or it just started downsizing and downclining, and all the different things they say of what happened to the marriage. But the problem is that they failed to build on what they already had. And the foundation is building on a friendship relationship throughout the marriage, because it is so important. It's important also to understand how we have to learn to meet one another's needs. It's so easy to just do unto others as you want them to do for you. But the thing is, everybody don't like things the same way. So what do? You have to learn one another. You got to learn what the other person likes. You have to learn what his likes is, what he like and what he don't like, and learn what she like and what she don't like. And that's how you can meet one another's needs. You don't meet one another's needs according to what your needs are. Again, your needs may be different from what his needs are. As husband and wife, as men and women, we have two different natures. And what's so important is to understand the nature of the man, understand the nature of the woman, and then we can just narrow on in and find out what is the underlying factors of that person. What's his makeup? What's a part of him? What is his history? Understand the history of him. Understand his present. Understand what he's dealing with right now. I believe if we look at those factors, it would help us to build a good, healthy relationship. Because today, many people that are going through experiencing a divorce, they're among the statistics of divorce. But it don't have to be that way. We can continue to build a relationship and have a healthy relationship and be willing to live with each other and have a healthy union, as it says, until death do us part. So it's important. It's not like you're putting on gloves and then you're taking it off whenever you want to. No, but marriage is powerful. It's a union in the eyesight of God. It's just so great that it's honorable. And it's not just for the people or something to be seen. It's for ourselves. It's for the health of our own life. It's for our own culture. It's for our own family. It's for our community. It's for everything, because when there's unity, there is strength. And so when two people are working together on the same page, one may be doing one thing, the other may be doing something different, that's okay. But you're meeting the minds, you're coming together on some key factors in your life, and then that would just help the union to stay healthy. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about teaching and sharing some things about marriage. Later on, we're going to share some things about blended families. We're going to share things relating to raising up children. Even though the environment may be unhealthy, but we can raise up our children in a healthy environment. So, but today we're excited about the marriages, because there are healthy relationships, and I'm a witness to it. But what it takes, you have to just put the tables together. You have to put the pieces together in your relationship. Even though what it takes for someone else, it may be something different for the other person. So you have to just know what it is. What does it take for your marriage to work? It's no certain puzzle, it's no certain pieces, but there are some underlying factors that we all have to come to. And that is having a friendship relationship, and that is coming together and having the power of agreement. Because when you can agree on things, then that's what makes things flow real smoothly. And you can enjoy your friendship, you can enjoy your family life, you can enjoy your social life, you can enjoy every area in your life when you know your relationship is intact. There's no wrong way or right way to do it. You just got to know what's best for you, for your relationship, on the agreement terms, because you're both agreeing to the same thing. I'm so excited because marriage is so important. I've experienced marriage. I'm married today. Thank God. As if you see me alive on this broadcast, you know I'm married. But I'm so happy because it's a reality. It's a reality of marriage. But one of the things that break my heart is when people don't understand the marriage part when it comes to problems and issues that we all deal with. Sometimes there's issues that we want to just throw under the cover instead of facing those issues. But it's important to not just throw the problems under the cover, but deal with it. Face the issues. Talk about it. Not on terms to sabotage one another or downgrade one another, but on the terms, on the level to understand one another. With all you're getting, get understanding. If you love that woman, or if that woman loved that man, her husband, then it's so important to do what it takes. Don't do the fault finding thing. So many people, they go into the fault finding. Well, you did this or you did that, or she did this or she did that. No, eliminate that, because that is not getting to the problem. It's not getting to the solution of the problem. One thing that's important is getting to the root of the very problem. And the root is not someone else's problem or not someone else's fault or casting judgment on someone. The root is dealing with the main issue, going back to where it all began, getting understanding. Let there be a heart meeting, a meeting of the mind, a meeting of the heart, a meeting of the will. Then you can really get in great understanding, because it's all about understanding. Most people want to have a healthy relationship. Most people want to be happy. Matter of fact, we married for that purpose. We married so we can be happy with our spouse, lifetime partner. We marry because we feel that this person will meet your needs. We marry because this person would have a positive factor in your life. We marry because this person can be a part of your vision, a part of your purpose, a part of your assignment in life. The things that you do, the things that you're called to do, the things that make you happy, the things that you want to do. You marry because you expect your partner to be there, to be a support, that there be a very good function in your relationship. So it's really great to look at factors. What keep the intimacy in the marriage? What does it take to keep the intimacy? What's important about the courtship? So some of these things we're going to go deeper and deeper and further into as we continue on in our next broadcast. We're going to be sharing about so many things, but it's so important to understand, hey, do you want to be happy, or do you want to point a finger? Do you want things to go down? Things will go down the moment we start casting our finger against one another. The moment we start he said, she said. The moment we start making things go down through the things we say. The words that we say out of our mouth. We can either build a person or we can tear them down. Ask me how I know. So our words are powerful, and we don't have to be spiritual to know that. We must know that whatever you say is going to build or is going to take away from that relationship. Even when it comes to women, we know what we hear. The things that we hear, it affects us. When a man speaks into her life and speaks into her heart and speaks by the words that he said out of his mouth, when he speaks words out of his mouth to that woman, she's like an incubator. She's going to receive it. She receives it in her spirit, whether it's good or whether it's negative. If it's good, it's going to build her. She's going to feel great about the relationship. She's going to do everything it takes to please him. She's going to want to please him. She's going to want to do for him. She's going to want to contribute in his life. She's going to want to support him. Even if it's something that she don't like doing. If he like football and he like to go to those games, she may not like football, but because he embraces her with her words, with his words, because he embraces her with his words, then she's going to be willing to go. She's going to want to go. Why? Just to be there next to him, just to support him and undergird him. And it's vice versa, same way with the men. Women, we can't be bashing the men and telling them what all he's doing wrong and everything he's doing wrong and what he's not doing right. Sometimes we have to just support him. We have to encourage them on the things that they are doing right. Because that's what brings encouragement. You tell a man the good things that he does, the talents that he have, the ability that he have, the things that he's skillful about. Guess what? Yeah, it's going to pump his ego, but that's all right. Sometimes that's what a man needs. It's part of his pride life. It's part of him. It's part of who he is. It's part of his image to encourage him. He's going to automatically feel good about it. And he's going to be willing to do everything it takes. He's going to lay everything on the line for you, for his woman. Why? Because this is the woman of his life. This is the one that's building him. This is the one that's contributing to his life. This is the one that he feel pride about. Because this is my woman. This is the person that's by my side. So what am I saying right now? I'm saying it's important that your words be seasoned. It's important that it be seasoned, that it have grace, that you speak with wisdom, that we don't speak out of hate or speak out of anger or speak out of bitterness. Those are kind of things that sabotage a healthy relationship. The words we say out of our mouth. So what do? We need to continue to build our relationship. Don't say, well, I know him, I know her, and just take it nonchalant, take it for granted, the things that we say, the things that we do. Yeah, I know this gets on her nerves. I know she hates this. I know she don't like that. But we still do it. We don't know that we are actually building walls to a woman. If it's a man and your spouse are hearing negative words and your action and she can't really trust you because you're saying one thing and you're doing another thing, and then it takes away her security. Women like to feel that security feeling. That we like to feel the security knowing that, hey, he's got my back. Hey, I can trust his words. I can rely on what he's saying. And if he failed, that's okay. I know he's trying. I know he's trying to make it work. I know that he's doing his best. Then that's okay. That's cool. That's fine. We can take it like that. But the moment we begin to operate in negative patterns, that's one of the things we're going to deal with on a later show, negative patterns, negative behavior. The moment we start dealing with that, what happens to the woman? She starts slowly building blocks, building a wall to protect herself. Instead of the man protecting her, she's protecting herself now. She want to protect her feelings. She want to protect her heart. She want to protect her emotions. She want to protect who she is, her identity. And so she began to build these unseen walls up. Then the communication began to stop. So many things began to happen. Why? Because that wall is there. That wall is there. But it's important that even as he speaks into her life, a matter of fact, the more she feels safe in her spirit. I'm not saying it's abusive or anything like that, but the more she feels safe through his words, then the more she can begin to build or put those walls back down. She'll move those bricks, and then she can open back up. And then you can restore your relationship. And then you're back on this right path to building your relationship. It's a work. Relationship, marriage is a work. Some people say, well, it ain't no work, but to me, it's a work. I think it's a work because sometimes you got to work, but then there's always times where you can just ride in it. That's when you know you have built up your experience in communicating. You know how to communicate to your spouse. You know how to deal with the issues. You know how to deal with the problems. You know how to not turn your back on things and sweeping it under the rug, but dealing with it at the right time, in the right season. I mean, don't let days and months go by before you deal with the issues. But if you nip it in the bud, then you can continue to flow on. If you know how to deal with the issues as they come, then you can ride in that relationship. You can just ride in that marriage. You can ride in the happiness. You can be transparent. You don't have to put no walls up. You're just being yourself. You're being who you are. You feel good in your life when you're doing you. And when you're enjoying the things you do. And your spouse understands you. And vice versa, same thing with the men. The women, we have to be careful what we say and what we do as well. Even though we know they said they say stick and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true, because words are so powerful. Words can hurt. It would go further than what a physical abuse could do. Words, it gets in your spirit. Words, it causes your actions to change. It causes things to take place. You begin to do things that you don't want to do. And sometimes you do it out of anger. You do it out of bitterness. You do it out of hurt. We know that. That's in human behavior. You see it in children. If you see it in children, you will see it in an adult. And then before you know it, we'll be taking on those same patterns, those childish behaviors, as we say. But when it comes to a man, men, they carry their vessels in fragile. They're fragile. They carry themselves in fragile vessels. Even though they're men, they're strong physically, but men have feelings too. Men have emotions too. Men have pride too. Men, sometimes they will protect themselves when they feel like there's a need to put a wall up because that woman seems like it's tearing her down. So we have to watch what we say to them too. Because if you're not careful, then the men, next thing you know, they will go into their cave. I'm not saying cave as if animals are not like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying they have a place of hiding. They have a place where they just want to just go alone and be alone just to mull over their thoughts. And sometimes they need that space. Men have to have that space. They need that space to mull over their thoughts, to think about what their actions, to think about what they're going to say next, to think about what they're going to do, to think about how they're going to figure things out, to think about how they're going to put things back in place, put things in order, to think about how they're going to please that woman. And sometimes women think that men, they're selfish. Men is not selfish. Most men is not selfish. Mostly, if you're experiencing selfishness, it's because he begin to get introverted. Why? Because he's not open up as much as he should. Why? Because he's experiencing the hurt. He's experiencing the disappointments. He's experiencing things that are affecting his life. I don't care what's going on the job. A lot of things can take place on the job. He can have issues outside of the home. But if he come home to that woman, and that woman is embracing who he is, and not ready to chew him out and cast him out and tell him about what he didn't do and what he should have did and could have did. If she start brawling him out the moment he walk in the door, he's gonna automatically want to go to that place away. He gonna wanna move his time aside, want to be alone. That's what men do. Sometimes they want to be alone just so they can keep themselves together. But if you want your husband, your spouse to be open, if you want him to look forward to going home, then we have to do as women, we have to do what it takes. We enjoy your husband, be willing to greet him with a smile. You might say, well, that's not even real today. It's 2000 and whatever. We're in the year 2000 and something. 2013, 2014, 2012, whatever year it is. No, but it's important. Whatever it took then, years ago, to keep marriage together is the same thing that takes it now. It's the same principles. Greet your husband with a smile. And you might say, well, that ain't real. I'm just going to be myself. You can be yourself, but what I'm saying that you don't want to brawl them out. There's a time for everything, a time to talk, a time to discuss issues and problems, a time to sit down and talk about the things you like and the things you don't like, and how you can bring things together, how you can become one, how you can work this thing out. All that is important. It's important. So we dealt with what can really hurt a relationship on the surface, and we also talked a little bit about what can build a relationship. But what we want to do is deal a little bit more about what's hurting relationships, what's going on today, what's happening in the society. Some of the same things that other bad relationships are going through. The reason why I say bad is because they haven't came to those conclusions. They haven't dealt with the principles. Keeping scorekeeping. What is that doing? Well, I did this so many times. When are you going to do that? Marriage is not about you bringing 50% and she's bringing 50% and he's bringing 50%. Or you brought 30%, now you need to bring the other. No, marriage is bringing 100% of yourself. It's not keeping score. What all you did, now I'm waiting on you to do that. No, give 100% of yourself. 100% of one another. That's what's going to make it complete. It's not 50-50. I don't know who came up with that. But it's 100-100. It's giving all you are, all you about. It's giving yourself. Give yourself away to your spouse. Give yourself away. Make your marriage a healthy place. One of the key factors is valuing your spouse. Value your spouse. Value who they are. Remember when you first met them. Remember the good things about your spouse. Value is important. And when that spouse knows that you have a value in them, that you value them, that means everything. That's what create your world. What create your marriage. It what makes what you are and who you are. Value the relationship. Like they say, build your garden. If you got weeds in your garden, take out the weeds. Take out the stones. Take out the sticks. Take out the things that will sabotage a healthy relationship. Think about it. What's hurting the relationship? If you can look and see what's hurting the relationship, eliminate what's hurting it, and then begin to build your relationship, then hey, it's on. It's on. It's on with your life. It's on with your purpose. It's on with your assignment. It's on with who you are. It's on with what you're trying to get done and achieved in your life. I don't care if you're a business person, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian, a chief. It doesn't matter who you are. On every level, we all have to deal with relationships. And it's up to us to make the best out of the relationship. That's why my heart beat. I experienced the good, I experienced the bad. Thank God I'm experiencing the good right now. I know what it is to have a marriage where you're experiencing more division instead of enjoying one another. But we got to move on from that. We got to move on from the past. We got to move on from the hurt. You got to move on from everything that it caused you to feel that hurt. Sometimes you can rekindle the hurt. If a person experienced a divorce and they go into another relationship, if you hadn't let go of the old, you're not going to really go into the new. You're not going to go into it right. Because if you leave the old, and you leave all the baggage and all the hurt and all the pain and disappointment behind you, and then you'll be prepared to go into a healthy relationship. But what happened today? Most people, they pulled in all the bags from their old relationship. And here it is, they dumping it in the new. They fear, and they figure that person is going to be like the one that they used to be with. They have that fear there. They have that insecurity there. They have those hurts there still alive in them. But the moment a person can get healed, move on from the past, feel good about yourself and who you are, know what you want in life, know what you want in the relationship, that's going to mean the whole world. That's going to mean everything to that next relationship. It's going to mean everything to a long-lasting marital relationship. Because the way you start a relationship will affect the remaining part of that relationship. Marriage is honorable. Marriage is good. Marriage is great. There are some great things in marriage. There's lots of benefits in marriage. So I just want to tell you to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. We can have healthy relationships without the distraction. Without the distraction. So in my close, I just want you to stay encouraged. Continue to tune in to our broadcast without distraction, relationship broadcast. We thank you for being a part of this broadcast and the continuation of the series of broadcasts that we're going to be having, we're going to be hosting. Again, thank you. God bless you.